The time is 7 p.m. and I call this special meeting of the Red Oak City Council to order. Let it be known we have a quorum present with all councilmen at their seat, city management, and various other city staff. We are notice has been posted in accordance to Texas Government Code Section 551 for this specially called meeting. And we're holding it here at the Live Oak, Texas Municipal Center, the Government Center. Item 1, conduct a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 24-028, City of Red Oak, Texas, amending the comprehensive zoning ordinance and map of the City of Red Oak, Texas, as heretofore amended by granting a change in zoning from Planned Development 107 Revised 4 to Planned Development 107 Revised 5 to provide for temporary off-site parking on an address as 621 North Interstate 35, City of Red Oak, Texas, and described as Lot 2, Block A of the Red Oak Legacy Square Edition, to be used as a surface motor vehicle parking facility for real property described herein, subject to the development regulations of the site addressed as 615 North Interstate 35 and described as Lot 1, Block A, Red Oak Legacy Square Edition, City of Red Oak, Ellis County, Texas, as depicted in Exhibit A, which is attached hereto and incorporated herein, providing for a development plan on Exhibit B, which is attached hereto and incorporated herein, providing a repealing clause, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, providing a penalty of fine not to exceed the sum of $2,000 for each offense, and providing an effective date. And this is case ZC 24-12 requested by Victron. Dr. Emma.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The applicant is requesting to have this temporary off-site gravel parking on this lot here. And the purpose of this request is due to the high demand and the abundance of parking for the theater. What's shown here is about 87 parking spaces. Of course, they're not striped because it's gravel, but it does have the wheel stops to kind of guide customers. The PD approved the required parking for 479 parking spaces. And what they have out there right now is 468 parking spaces. Those 11 spaces was supposed to be in this area here. You can see now, this is it. And according to the applicant, in about a year's time, there should be a pickleball court or volleyball court in this area. So that's why it was reserved. There's a couple of changes from the report in your packet. The time frame has been reduced from 36 months to 30 months for the temporary off-site gravel parking. And some conditions that have been added is that when this site south of Harmony Way develops, there be the 68 shared parking spaces to be added. So if within that 30-month period, this comes and gets developed, then this site will no longer be used as the gravel off-site parking. Or if this site develops then sooner than the 30-month period, then it will no longer be used as the off-site parking.
But they have to shift that 68 down south.
Correct.
And,
Yeah.
and so will the gravel move to that down south?
So no, so that's why it's kind of like time pressured now. So it's either if a development comes in there, but since it's their property, they can really control like who comes at what time. So if a development does come in there, then that gravel parking does go away.
No, but we're still then back behind the eight ball if that northern lot develops, right?
So
Then
so,
we'll
it-
have-
so if the lot next to Olive Garden develops prior to the lots on the south side of Harmony, they would have the option to come back and relocate that parking. Because originally we were looking at two different sites. One was just along Harmony itself on the south side
For temporary here.
for temporary. But putting it up on that corner keeps people from having to walk across Harmony and, you know, traffic and all that kind of stuff. So if that comes in before the other one, or before the 30 months, then they could relocate it down to the south, but they could come back and get that approved through council and PMC. Doubt that that'll happen, but it's a possibility.
I don't know. I have people from California telling me they love that theater, so people know about this thing coming. Okay. Anything else?
So staff recommends approval on the condition that lighting be placed on the site. For now, they did mention that the Olive Garden would light this southern portion. But of course, it's not constructed now, so we recommended that there be some sort of temporary lighting solution be placed here.
And everybody would be entering and exiting off of the western side of that gravel.
So yes, from here to here. But if this develops now, then it'd be from here to here.
But no access road onto the I-35.
Correct.
Okay, access, okay. All right.
Where are people typically parking now, overflow? Which places are getting filled up or where are cars going?
So they're parking on the side of the street.
The back of the together,
Yep.
I've
Yeah.
seen them.
Some of them are parking up in grassy areas. It's just kind of wherever they can find to go. And this way, at least they would have a spot that's meant to be parking,
Designated.
even though it is temporary.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, what they're doing right now is illegal. You know, they're parking illegally, so we want to have at least that option to give them a legal opportunity to park short term and then again later with new development, the long term option.
I have two questions. My two questions, the gravel, over that period of time, how well maintained will that sustain itself with the traffic level? And should strong wear and tear on the gravel side of things after 10 months of actively being used, are we putting verbiage in there to ensure that it is maintained?
It's in there that they have to maintain it. Should be this note here. Yeah, I said, shall be maintained by the property owner.
So
And it also has to be, be able to sufficiently support the weight of any emergency vehicles.
No particular type of gravel, if it's pea gravel, big chunks, anything like that.
The specific type of gravel that's going to be used, do you have that?
Or do we put limits on that, or is that just? No, that they do.
Long as they can get the driving surface.
You're
They'll
not gonna
withstand
be
the
walking
traffic.
around with big chunks of rocks that twisted ankles and fall or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, like
no,
it's gonna be
we're-
a tinier substance or like the thicker rock.
Crushed concrete.
Crushed concrete. Okay. That's it. So that's. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
So I assume you'll be able to put like a sign, additional parking.
Yeah, I think we'll put B&B overflow parking.
Okay.
Something that's folks know.
Yeah, cause you know, pulling in, I think they're getting ready to do construction right there. For hopefully a restaurant or something and not wanna be in the way, so, is that? I know y'all would do that, but, just at the end saying big old sign parking that way. additional parking like you said, so.
Yes, sir. We're, I think, we have overflow parking. That makes sense.
Yeah. Is that something we can add?
We can add that into the conditions. Mhm.
I think it's wise. Do you?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, go.
Mhm.
All right.
But
Doctor.
there's still enough parking for the construction crews for Olive Garden? I mean, are they gonna?
Well, they're not allowed to use that.
Yeah.
It's not their site, so
They're not. They'll have their own spot.
should have.
The Olive Garden construction site.
They have their own site.
They're supposed to be operating on the Olive Garden site, correct?
Oh, we hadn't opened the public
Yeah,
hearing
so
yet.
we'll open it.
Oh, all right.
Let's go ahead and do the
Oh,
public hearing real quick and then.
That's right.
if it
So-
passes, we can get-
Read that in.
It's 7:10. I apologize. We'll open that public hearing. Sir, would you like to come up and speak to this?
Good evening. My name is Mohammed Sharaf. I live at 3412 Ovilla Road. Addition being a concerned citizen, I'm the applicant and developer, partner in the B&B Theaters project. So I think, of course, I don't want to bore you guys to death, but a couple quick notes on a couple of questions or points that were asked. One, I think the big thing is folks are unfortunately parking on the dirt mound that we have now here, which is illegal, unsafe, and inefficient because 5-6 cars kind of park on there and they jump the curb. And we'd rather have something organized where we can fit, it looks like 80+ parks on this pad site. In relation to the additional parking area south of Harmony Way, we are in the final stages of negotiating with two really great sit-down restaurants. I think they're going to be coming before City Council for approval of their site plans. But when those come, we're going to be building a shared parking lot adjacent to them that is intended to accommodate both the two restaurants across the street from Harmony Way, as well as overflow parking from B&B Theaters. We've asked for 30 months. It takes, typically 8 to 12 months for permitting, and then another year and a half for construction. And so I certainly want it to be built as quickly as possible. I told Mr. Goodwin, I hate when somebody comes and they have money in their pocket and they see it's busy and they leave. I want that money to be in my pocket and in the city's pocket. So any questions or comments, I'm happy to address. And I forgot to mention, I appreciate everybody coming out here on a Monday evening for this as well.
Thank you.
I do have one quick question. First, a statement. I think this is a good problem to have. It could be that we have too much parking and not enough patrons. So I do appreciate that. But my question is, do we have a temporary lighting plan?
So I don't believe we have a temporary lighting plan. Something I'm actually gonna, Michael and I were speaking about just now. We're currently building the parking lot for the Olive Garden. We know when the Olive Garden opens here in just in a few months, in about 6 months, that is going to provide, a lot of lighting from there a lot. I'm gonna see if we can push that up and actually build the light poles more quickly. I don't think we'll have it finished by the time we open the lot, but in short, I don't think we have a lighting plan, but I think one of the conditions P&Z just approved is that we do have to have temporary lighting from the site. So we don't intend, we're not going to let it be dark there.
Yeah, I would like to see some type of lighting for the safety of citizens. We can say just temporary lighting, but I would like to see where that lighting would be strategically,
Yeah, and I'm
or at least coordinate with staff to where we have something on record.
I'm happy to relay that to you directly after the meeting and make sure we're all on the same page.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
So is it good enough to say we have a photometrics plan that will at the parking lot for safety purposes?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. We have something on record. As long as city staff see it and it's something we are safe with, that's fine.
Nope, I'm good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion at 7:14 to close this public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
And whoever that was Lightfoot and Goodwin. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Goodwin, aye.
Miller, aye.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith,
Passes 5-0, so we are closed. Any other questions that y'all need answered Staff,
No question.
staff or anything?
The sheriffs have never built anything halfway in the city, so I don't think we really have to worry too much about it, one way or the other.
Entertain a motion to, so how do we need to make this, Dr. Emma, based on with what P and Z's recommendation and what we said about the sign?
Correct. So we'll include the signage language that there's some sort of directional signage to alert patrons that this is off-site parking. We can include instead of the requirement for just parking, we can include an actual photometric study, lighting plan. Is that what you want?
Just as long as staff is.
Oh,
we have
staff, as
something
long
on
as we're
record
okay with
that
it?
We're okay with.
Okay, so that's the same as P and Z's recommendation.
okay.
Yes.
So you want to give it to me? Someone want to give it to me?
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
So it would be a motion to approve ordinance number 24-028 on the conditions that a plan for signage to locate the additional parking is presented to staff, to include that staff approves a lighting plan for the safety in that parking lot, and to approve a maximum of 30 months or the development of the additional concrete parking, whichever comes first.
So moved.
Second.
Lightfoot, Smith. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Goodwin, aye.
Miller, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
Smith, I.
And that passes 5-0. Thank you.
Now you want to go back?
Yep. Okay. So the time is 7:16. I'd like to thank everyone who had come for this and the support of Mohammed's. Thank you very much for your development.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, oh yeah, thank you. And thank you for helping things along, sir. You bet. The time's 7:17 and we will go into a closed section pursuant to Texas Government Code, section 551.071, 551.074.
That seemed like a good plan, Todd. Ah. Did well.
Lose one? Oh, there you go.
All right, the time is 7:43, and we will reconvene back into open session. Was there any items that need to be covered as a result of closed session?
None.
Okay, I'll entertain the motion to adjourn at 7:44.
So moved.
Second. And we got our senior
Senior
distinguished Councilman Goodwin and then Councilman Franklin. All those in favor?
Franklin, aye.
Good one, I.
Miller, I.
Life